Billy Sir 你好，想話有位同學入唔到嚟嘅，叫做梁俊偉。
佢改個
梁
名先。
哦，
佢未改名啊，我唔知佢邊個嚟啊。
OK，
做咩唔改名啊？唔該你。好，咁我哋等埋佢入面，我哋再開始。
阿 Sir 尋日添喺度。
哦，好啊。改名啦，又唔改名。
阿 Sir 你好啊，我係梁俊偉。
做咩個名咁型嘅？
唔好意思，pardon 過多次，唔好意思。
我話做咩個名咁型嘅？你叫 CWL98418。
吓，我唔知喎，我堂入去都係叫翻我全名。
你呢個係 University of Wollongong 嘅 email 嚟嘅。
啊，
係咪有啲朋友？
我 log in 咗 personal 嗰個喎，我即刻改翻名。
唔係冇所謂。
哦，
但係
改翻先。
你入翻咯，因為我驚你入其他嘢咧入唔到啊。因為我哋 Moodle set 嗰啲嘢咧，全部通常都係 base on 翻你嗰個 student ID 㗎。
哦，
咁樣咯，係，但係冇所謂，你上住先咯，你再用另外一個 account 入。
好啊。
你今堂用咗個 account 都得，但係如果你之後交嘢啊嗰啲，你交唔到咧，就好大機會，因為你呢個 account 唔係原先嗰個。
哦。
你應該見到你自己個名唔係嗰個名嚟。係咯。OK，好。
哦，盡快搞唔該。
冇問題，冇問題。Okay, so first of all, welcome to the afternoon class. So before we start, just double check if you have the P next to your name, okay? Because I just want to indicate that you are being present, okay, for this class. I just don't want to make it confused with other students. And yeah, if you find out there are some problems okay with that, just let me know, and then I will try my best to deal with your request. So it seems that okay, everyone okay is here except for 2 students. So the next thing is that I want to update you about is the arrangement of the assessment. Okay, since 2 or 3 weeks before, okay, school has adopted the online teaching, right? Okay, for the whole semester. So we need to make a little bit adjustments, okay, on the make a little bit adjustments on the what's that called? The scheme of work, okay, or the teaching schedule. So I need your attentions, okay, in the following documents. So please go to the Moodle and download the updated course outline. So if you just click it in, so for the first page, okay, they are actually similar to the one that you have in week 1. Okay, so pretty simple, but I just want to highlight a few points to you that are for week 10, okay, we will have our online quiz during the class. Okay, so during the class for the quiz. So students may ask, okay, would it be an open book test or closed book test? So I would just say it is an open book test because you will be able to access, okay, to any teaching learning documents, okay, during that time. But within the time limit, okay, you need to submit your work, okay, your response on Moodle, okay, and I will give you more information about that, okay, you know, maybe week 9 or week 9, okay, probably. But during this time, okay, you could just have a look of those PowerPoint and the lecture notes that you have with you, and then probably, okay, these are the contents, okay, of the midterm quiz. And originally, okay, we have a field trip or field test or field work, okay, for our course, which is mainly focused on people with moderate disability and severe disability. However, okay, you may notice that so all the things has been suspended, okay, during this time. So it will be an ongoing process, okay, for the field work. Unfortunately, okay, we will not be able to take part in the field work for this year again, but we will still based on, okay, what we have, okay, on that event, okay, and then we will still go through some of them, and then you still have to work out you need to submit, okay, a report, okay, regarding this virtual field work. Okay, 咁稍後亦都會提供多少少嘅資料俾你啦。咁因為第一原先會發生啦嚇，咁其實好多嘅嘢其實我哋都 prepare 咗嘅。OK， 咁所以全部都係啲好 preparation 嘅嘢嚟嘅。OK， 咁都想同大家分享一下啦。咁所以稍後咧都會同你哋分享完之後啦，你哋都可能交翻份 report 嘅。OK，and yeah, so that these are actually the two changes for those two areas. And for the assessment methods, there are a little bit changes on the weighting of the marks. So in order to avoid a lot of written work, okay, at the end of semester, which our coordinator has stated to us about that, because we noticed that our students are taking a lot of theory courses, okay, in this semester, and we want to minimize, okay, the workload for students. So this time, okay, we don't have any like extra written work, okay, to be done in order to minimize your workload. So then we increase the 10% for the class participation and take-home assignments. So during each class, okay, you have a lot of assignments. Okay, might be in group, might be in the individual. Okay, so that you have to work hard, okay, on that. And of course, okay, you should be on time, okay, for the class in order to get a full mark for the class participations. And during the class, okay, there might be some activities that we require students to to take part. Okay, then if you take part in it, then you will receive the class participation marks. And for the group presentation, it's pretty the same. Okay, we didn't change anything, okay, in this part. So just ignore them because we've gone over in the first lecture. And for the midterm quiz, okay, will be decreased from 20 to 15 this time, in order to allow students to have not too much pressure. So on the marks, okay, for this part. And the last one, okay, will be a reflection paper, okay, of the virtual reality experience. Okay, as I said, okay, yeah, there will be a virtual fieldwork, okay, for this course. So any questions? Yeah, so that's all of them. And I hope you are happy with the new arrangement. And we will try our best to minimize, okay, your workload, okay, for the written work. If there's no any questions, so then let's move on to the today's class. So what are we going to do for today's class? So first of all, we will review, okay, what we have done in the last week, and then we will teach one of the chapters, okay, chapter 6 for this course. And then at last, okay, we will come to an in-class worksheet, okay, in-class worksheet. Okay, so that's the arrangement. So before we start, just take a look at the chapter 5, which you should have the notes with you. So in chapter 5, okay, mainly we focus on this area. And I just want to highlight something is the BBP. So whenever you think of a recreation program, OK， 我哋而家搞緊一個康樂活動。OK， so remember the BBP, benefit based. Whenever we hold or we plan a recreational program, we bring a lot of benefits, okay, to our customers or to our participants. And remember, these benefits should be available, okay, while the participants participating in it. Okay, we are not trying to create a program that gives benefits, okay, of whether, okay, a participants have or have not participated in the program. We want them to participate, okay, and while they're participating, that, okay, they receive those benefits. Okay, we don't want to make it like something which is not that really rely on the participations, because in the first chapter we have talked about leisure experience. Okay, it's different from other experience. Okay, we need participation in it. So based on the 6 or 5 benefits, okay, that covers in this part. So when you design a program, try to stick to them. Okay, stick to them. Remember, in the last discussion sections, okay, at the end of the section, so your groups, okay, are forming the groups and then think of one program. And I've spent some time in reviewing some of the those programs with you, okay, with the benefits in some of the groups. 咁有啲組啦，我上星期上星期啦，都有入咗同你去討論過呢個問題。OK， 咁記住圍繞住呢5個方向啦。And remember, we have 3 levels of benefits. One is the on-site， 係啦，當佢哋參加即時達到嘅一啲嘅好處啦。And a longer term for participants only, because in this case, okay, we are talking about the host couples. But if you could pay attention to the participants, okay, that would be great. Okay, 咁 focus 喺參加者嘅角度得唔得？ And the last, okay, we want to proceed or to promote within the society. Okay, so that's very important. If we don't have these like clusters of levels, so very possibly, okay, I don't think your program is you will justify, okay, by your boss, okay, or you could have provided a lot of justified reasons, okay, of holding this program. So try to think in this way, okay, and it helps you to promote a program, okay, or to design a program, okay, in the future. And then we give you a lot of examples, okay, during the class. And one more thing is, in the later part of this lecture, we talk about when you design your program, okay, you have to pay attention, okay, in the following. So this is the design model. Remember, starting from having those goals, you got agency goals, individual goals, and remember before that, we need a need assessment. Okay. So once you know what their needs are, you design the goals that fit their needs. Okay, and you could actually embed those 6 benefits, which included in this chapters, okay, in the design goals. And then we move on to the components that you need these 6 components to run the program. And this refers to chapter 1. Okay, remember the 6 situative activity system. And the tactics that we use a projective imagery or image interactions. Okay, things have not happened yet. Okay, we try to think what is going on. Although, okay, imagine interactions is one of the ways to do it. We still have other ways, okay, like a trial and trial area, try and trial error, okay, and like game demonstrations, okay, blah blah blah. Okay, we do a rehearsal beforehand. Okay, so we have many ways, okay, to do it. But if we focus on the design elements, okay, we use the projective imagery. Okay, 咁我哋通常用呢個方法。And yeah, that's all for the chapter 5. Okay, and I hope you should have an idea of what is going on. And now let's move on to chapter 6. Okay, chapter 6. So you could just find it on Moodle. Then please allow me, okay, to switch on my PowerPoint. Just a second. Yes. Okay. Okay, so chapter 6, prepare the program plan. So what does it mean by program plan? 咁 program plan 好簡單嘅，一個活動手冊啊。唔得。So what should it be included? Okay, or what is included in the program plan? So let's take a look. So now we are at stage C. Okay, we know the mission, we know the directions, we have the need assessment from the clients, we set our goals, and we have the design tactics. And now we move on to the program plan. So under the program plan, okay, there are lots of subsections. Okay, so it means that in the coming weeks, we will spend quite a lot of time in this part. Okay, 咁嚟緊呢幾個禮拜咧，我哋會 focus 睇多啲第6呢個部分嘅，得唔得？因為我哋有好多林林總總嘅嘢喺呢一個部分入面做嘅。So first of all, what does a program plan consist of? First of all, venue arrangement. 中文啊，場地。So either indoor or outdoor. OK， 咁睇翻啦，你個活動係想喺室內啊、室外啊進行啦嚇。咁你第一樣嘢要揾咗場地先。OK，if you don't have the venue, don't talk to me. OK，don't start the talk, don't start the deal. 一日冇場地，一日冇肯定確實嘅場地，你都唔好諗住做住再揾。OK， 因為場地係最難揾嘅，得唔得 ？So secondly, program schedule. 中文就係個時間表啦 ，OK 時序表啦。And the third one is equipment, supply, and materials needs. So some of the events, okay, they rely on a lot of supply, okay, or equipment. In chapter 2, if you remember, okay, for the supply or equipment, okay, there are actually 2 types. One is the consumables, and one is the non-consumables. 一個係可消耗嘅產品，一個係非消耗嘅產品，得唔得？咁所以咧，我哋一陣間講到第3部分咧，你會再諗多啲關於你嗰個活動噶啦。我哋需唔需要呢啲嘢？ And number 4, set up plan. Set up 顧名思義啦嚇，嗰個設計圖啦嚇，或者嗰個set up 啦嚇。即係嗰個裝置啦。So once you have your plan in your mind, you need someone to set it up. OK， 你要起咗佢嘅，即係你起咗個場地，啲佈置啊，要特登可能揾啲嘢過嚟去砌嘅，唔得。So this is the setup plan. So for the animation plan, okay, it's pretty similar with the setup plan. Okay, because they were based on the setup plan to work on the frequency, on the sequence. Okay, and I will let you know more about that. Okay, 咁animation plan 啦 ，animation 成日都係講緊動畫啦，動畫嘅片段啦或者動畫嘅統籌啦。OK，咁陣間同你講咩類嘅動畫啦。And move on at number 5, okay, is the management plan. So management plan involves a lot of parties, okay, from different departments. Okay, so they are all working with each other and they try to work out a management plan, okay, for the event or for the activities. 咁呢個係一個管理嘅計劃啦。咁今次同頭先嗰個有少少唔同嘅 ，OK， 管理嘅計劃咧係涉及好多唔同嘅 parties，OK， 可能係5至6個部門啦 ，OK 等等嘅 ，OK 一齊配合去做嘅。Okay, so this is for the management plan. And the next one is the promotion plan. So if you're working in a big company, I don't think you're really experienced in that. Okay, because in a big company team or big company, okay, they got what they got. Okay, they got a promotion team, they got a PR team, they got a marketing team. 咁有一個部門咧專係做推廣嘅 ，OK。咁但係點解我哋都要讀咧？就係、我哋好多時候我哋唔喺私人公司做 ，OK， 我哋可能喺翻自己 NGO 入面去做，例如係一啲嘅總會啦，咁你都要學識點樣去做 promotion。雖然可能你話喂唔係喎，我有錢，我可以揾人做 ，OK， 呢個另計 ，OK， 但係你要識啦。And then the next one is the budget and pricing plan. You need to be able to calculate, okay, the money, the revenue, okay, that you earn from the participants, okay, and at the same time, okay, you have to control, okay, the expense. Okay, 咁收入支出盡量都要平衡啦，冇人想做蝕本生意嘅 ，OK， 我都肯定。Okay, so you need to know how to calculate, okay, the money you got. And the next one is the registration plan. So since there is a on-site participation program, you require participants to register before they attend. Although, okay, a walk-in application or walk-in registration, okay, is acceptable, okay, during this difficult time, but you still need to prepare, okay, in advance. So staffing and staff orientation plan. So when you organize a big event, okay, you require a lot of part-time staff. Okay, so this time, okay, how you have to calculate, okay, the number of part-time staff that you want to hire, and of course, okay, what is the plan, okay, of the staffing procedure. Okay, 咁你請人啦 ，OK 冇問題。咁你請人嘅計劃係點樣啊 ？OK， 你都要有定一個準備嘅。And it comes to the end one, and I believe, okay, this is the most important one, okay, in hosting events. 嗱，咁將來咧，亦都曾經有同學去 interview 啊，即係以我聽翻嚟咧，就係問佢：喂，你搞咗咁多年活動，或者你咁中意搞活動 ，OK？ 當你搞活動嘅時候，第一樣嘢你會注意啲乜嘢啦 ？OK， 咁佢問咗個同學，個同學係冇答到呢個答案嘅。OK，safety is the main concerns. They just answer, OK, like money or resource is the most important. 咁個同學咧最尾好似工都見唔成啦 ，OK？ 你連 safety 呢樣嘢你都唔擺先 ，OK？ 仲要係我哋呢啲咁嘅活動，我哋呢啲活動係有啲係特別高危噶嘛 ，OK？ 例如一啲高風險嘅活動啦，例如行山啊 ，OK？ 可能玩下獨木舟啊嗰啲咧，我哋都要有定個後備方案嘅 ，OK？ 我哋都要保障翻使用者 ，OK？ 同埋個統籌嘅團隊啦。So these are all the information should included in the program plan. And for the headings or for the cover page of the program plan, you require to provide these 5 informations. 咁做一個所謂嘅活動計劃書啦嚇，咁有機會睇下我可唔可以 scan 到俾你睇，跟住擺上 Moodle， 俾你自己參考。咁如果你係冇一個 well planning 咧 ，OK， 跟住先去做呢一個咁嘅活動咧，其實好大機會咧，你會係錯配咗啲資源，即係可能你冇諗得到咁周詳嘅時候咧，你會發覺哦，原來呢度又唔係得，嗰度又唔得，嗰度唔得嘅。咁所以 任何嘢啦嚇，我哋都要做些少嘅前期功夫嘅。OK，咁呢一個 program plan 嘅前期功夫咧，就係你要揾嗰個 agency missions 嚇。咁首先係代表邊間機構，佢哋嘅目標清唔清晰先。OK，第三都好緊要嘅，佢哋 needs assessment，你要加埋落去。OK，先至可以做你個活動啊嘛。如果唔係，我點知呢個活動係 fulfill 緊啲乜嘢人，同埋佢帶出嚟嘅得着係咩？OK，如果你連啲基本嘢都冇咧，咁好少人會俾係咯，即係機會你真係試下自己想 run 嘅 program， 得唔得？And you will see, okay, some wordings are highlighted in the blue color. Okay, so this is the part of the area that we will go through today. And on the right side, okay, you can see for the rest of them. Okay, we will try to go through it like 1 or 2 lectures, okay, in our lessons in the coming week. 咁嚟緊咧，我哋會追翻少少進度啦嚇，咁我講埋呢幾個部分。So first of all, what is the purpose of a written plan? So why do we need to prepare a written plan? Okay, there are 3 reasons. So first of all, to provide a record of information about the current status of the program. Having a written plan, okay, at least we need to know how the real world, okay, is happening. Okay, 第一，我哋都可能會知道，哇，原來我哋個活動喺呢一個咁艱難嘅期間，究竟我哋係做緊咩咧，或者係邊個位置啦嚇。So if you don't provide a record, okay, so if we want to trace back, okay, or we do comparisons, so I'm afraid that we can't do that. OK， 咁有陣時咧啲 written plan 我哋都要點啊？每年都要埋數。OK， 咁我哋都想知我哋有冇做得多咗或者做得少咗。咁所以咧好多時候我哋都會記錄在案啦。OK。So secondly, to provide a record of the resource used to operate the program. As said, okay, in the lecture 2, if you have unlimited money, unlimited resource, this won't be a concern for you. Okay, but if you have limited money or lead to resource on that. Okay, so you have to prioritize. Okay, which one should start first and which one should start later. OK， 咁我哋都要去做少少嘅資料搜集啦，或者問一下唔同嘅部門啦，究竟佢哋需要幾多嘅資源啊 ？OK， 因為資源嘅錯配咧係會影響到好大嘅問題嘅。OK， 第一可能你個活動繼續 run 啦，然之後發覺有一啲位置係真係有短缺人手嘅。OK， 咁可能參加者點啊？要等候啦或者直情因為咁而冇得玩啦咁所以作為一個有負責任心嘅 manager 又好 ，OK，leader 又好，我哋都要有一個咁嘅責任去做。咁所以我哋都要揸住個 program plan 去準備定啲嘢。And to provide a reference for use during future operations of the program. So in the future, okay, if you don't have any ideas of how the program should be, or if you think of new things, okay, then you could use it as a reference. 咁我哋可能試新嘢啦，但係試新嘢之餘都想抄翻少少舊嘢，咁我哋就借呢個機會去睇翻有啲咩舊嘢。So this is for the program plan. So this part we have spent already 2 minutes to go through them. Okay, so yeah, so just forget it. So now let's move on to the venue arrangement. So before a program starts, do you know how long it takes for booking a big table, okay, or booking a facilities for the participants? 咁你知唔知道嗱？你去茶餐廳食飯，或者去餐廳食飯，你驚太多人嘅時候，或者你驚根本冇得食，你都會點啊？你都會 book 位。OK， 咁喺日常生活當中啦，我哋 book 位可能係講緊幾個禮拜So you need to book the court, okay, a few months or a few weeks before. However, okay, if it is for mega events, which may covers the whole public facilities, so you need to reserve it earlier. So students, okay, point out that 2 to 3 months, is it enough? I would say it's not that enough。2至3個月咧，其實係太短時間啦。嗱，一般嚟講咧，我哋都要起碼1年，即係你唔好睇話啊1年咁誇張。OK， 咁其實好多時候咧就係、你準備啲嘢 ，OK， 去睇一睇場，同啲contractor 傾下呢樣嗰樣咧，好快就去咗半年㗎啦。到真係做嘅時候咧，可能都係得個幾個星期或者甚至乎幾個月。Okay, so secure a venue, okay, before the event starts. It gives you a very good, I would say, good safety zone. So for yourself, okay, like a safety bag，呢個安全個框框咁嘅。Okay， 即係起碼咧，你衰衰累累你都有個場。Okay， 入面嘅嘢其實就好睇你夠唔夠人嘅啫。If you have a lot of manpower, I believe, okay, so you will be able to do in a short time or to complete in a short time. Like in Hong Kong, like the COVID, okay, the government has asked, okay, for the help from mainland, okay, to build those hospitals, okay, the temporary hospitals. So they might only need like two weeks to do that. But if you trace it back, okay, you would realize that, okay, for getting a piece of public area or public park, it takes like 2 or 3 weeks at least。喺而家咁緊急嘅時期啊，我諗你如果有睇新聞啦，其實佢不斷咁樣要揾地仲多過時間佢起即係起所謂起嗰幾棟嘢。咁你可以諗下，其實個地係幾緊要。OK， so if it is in our recreational program area, so we need to think, okay, buildings, land areas, okay, these are some examples. But I want to highlight one point is you have to think, okay, whether it's an indoor or outdoor program. OK， 咁第一樣嘢你要諗咗 indoor 定 outdoor。如果 indoor 嘅，咁其實就好好嘅，因為唔會涉及到 outdoor。但係如果真係要 outdoor 咧，你就要諗一諗，會唔會你有個 second plan 嘅 ，OK 係 for indoor。咁可能你租場嘅時候咧，你就唔係淨係租一個場噶啦，你可能要租2個場。OK。And when choosing the best venue, okay, we have to focus on the following. So the locations. Remember in the previous class, in the need assessment, okay, many students ask the same questions. Where do you live? Okay, where do you do program want to be held? And I believe, okay, the reasons you're asking this question is because people are really, really concerned about the locations. 嗱，人咧，我諗呢個世紀啦，或者加上而家我哋生活節奏咁快嘅時候，我哋乜都係講點方便。OK， 唔方便嘅點啊？咪唔參加咯，或者再諗一諗先咯。我方便嘅 OK， 通常啲人點啊？即刻駁除。So secondly, the design. So you need to think of the venue design. Does it fit your nature of your program? So if you are having a indoor like badminton competitions, so for the design, okay, you may have to take a look at the rooftop. Is it high enough? Okay, or if you're having a basketball court or basketball competitions, so you need to see, okay, whether there's a safety comfort zones, okay, for players, okay, to avoid any injury, okay, or etc. 嗱，場地嘅設計咧，有機會影響到你嗰個活動嗰個性質嘅，甚至乎會影響到個安全性。最簡單打籃球 ，OK， 根據翻即係 NBA 又好，國際籃球組織又好，其實係一定要點啊？需要有一個我哋叫做一個 safety zone 嘅，同一個安全嘅區域。OK， 咁但係如果你嗰個場地冇呢個安全區域，而你去選擇搞呢場比賽咧，咁如果發生咗咩事咧，個責任就會歸咎翻去個 organizer 度㗎啦，個主辦機構。因為點解？因為你係應承，你係睇場㗎嘛，你竟然睇咗一個原來有 defect 嘅場，咁最尾要孭鑊嘅唔係你，唔通係邊個 ？Okay, so although the word is pretty simple, design, okay, but still have to pay a little bit effort, okay, in thinking of whether this kind of designs, okay, really fits the program itself. And number 3, whether it is available. Okay, so pretty simple. And number 4, the accessibility. So if you are going to hold a event, okay, that fits all populations, so I would prefer you to add this element, okay, because being access, okay, in a non-barrier environment, okay, it will help, okay, those participants, okay, to enjoy the program. But if like participants wants to join your program and you don't find any access-free or barrier-free equipment, okay, for them, so people may tend to not enjoying the program. Okay, 咁所以嗰個 accessibility 啦，即係通唔通行到啦，你都要諗一諗嘅。Okay, so if there's only stairs and you want to introduce a empathy, okay, volunteers, okay, or participants, so you have to think of, okay, whether we should provide lift, okay, or if you really don't provide lift, okay, what is your contingency plan, okay, for that. 咁尤其是我哋啦都係讀 special population 為主嘅，咁我都想大家咧，其實將來咧你都要諗多少少，會唔會其實我哋可以融入翻一啲嘅非主流嘅參加者，可能佢係身體上肢體殘障啦，甚至乎可能佢係智力障礙嘅 ，OK， 咁即係我哋都可以諗多少少呢樣嘢。So remember, inclusive service has started to increase, okay, in the past few years. 咁文獻都指出啦一啲共融嘅活動咧，其實每一年比一年多㗎啦，開始 ，OK。咁但係我哋去推行嘅同時間，我哋亦都遇到啲咩問題咧？即係關於呢啲咁嘅共融活動，我哋原來發覺咧 ，OK， we don't have enough funding for providing inclusive service. So very possibly, okay, you need extra money, okay, in providing this inclusive service. And the government, okay, or the donor, okay, will think, okay, whether it is worth to do that or not worth to do that. 咁好可悲啦喺我哋嘅社會上啦，暫時大部分活動都係睇下究竟可唔可行嘅 ，OK， 就算唔可行嗰啲咧，佢哋都唔會願意試嘅，得唔得？ So the other thing is they don't have enough supported staff or supported resources. 咁其實都係嘅，因為近呢幾年先至開始興，或者唔好10年啦先開始興關於啲 special populations。以前直情冇乜人去留意，得唔得？咁當然啦，如果我哋有足夠嘅 funding 啦，足夠嘅 support 嘅，咁我相信要去發展你嗰個企業啦或者你嗰個行業其實唔係難嘅。Okay. And another point to remind you that, okay, we don't have enough trained staff. Okay, so if ever, okay, in the future, you are leading a group of people without any disability experience, try to give them a briefing. Okay, it may only take you 15 to 30 minutes, but try to remind them, okay, this is not the only thing that happened, okay, for people with disability. Okay, and sometimes, okay, they will show a very negative staff attitudes, okay, when serving people with disability. Okay, 咁但我哋都唔容許個社會係出現呢啲。So for the venue arrangement, okay, it still goes on. We got 2 types of them. One is the public one, and one is the commercial one. But remember, okay, both of them, you need to request it at a very, very earlier time. Okay, 要極早去準備啦。So then let's move on to the next part, the program schedule. So there are many, many different ways, okay, to describe, okay, about schedule. So we have a 1-day schedule. Okay, if you take part in like a day camp, okay, or a day trip, yeah, something like that. Okay, you got only one time slot. Okay, but at the same time, okay, if you organize a lot of events together, okay, in different rooms, whatever, okay, so you need to get well prepared, okay, for that. Okay,咁你哋都要準備定㗎啦。So in order to avoid the duplications of the use of manpower, okay, so a well-programmed scheduling, okay, helps to avoid this. So in this section, okay, we will give you all the possible schedule pattern. 嗱，一般嚟講咧，最 specific 嘅通常係點啊？斷季啦，斷年計啦，斷月計啦，斷週計啦，甚至乎有啲直情係以8至10堂為一個課程嘅。OK， 而家都好興㗎啦，尤其是係喺 kids 嘅 activities。點解10週咧？點解8週咧？因為7月放暑假啊嘛。OK， 8月尾返學啊嘛。OK， 咁正啱有8週。OK， 咁所以咧，有啲人就會用呢一種嘅形式去表達嘅，得唔得？So for the daily time use patterns, okay, so during different times, okay, we have different target groups. 咁你亦都可以藉住呢個機會啦，諗一諗究竟邊個時段適合啲咩人咧 ？So for the morning sections, starting from 9 o'clock to 11:59 in the morning, okay, so there used to be senior adults, preschool children, okay, some shift workers, okay, blah blah blah. Okay, 咁呢個好簡單㗎，最朝頭早啦。The next one is the early afternoon sections. So it means after the lunch. Okay, but in Hong Kong, okay, if you take a day off, okay, then you have early afternoon sections. But if you are on work, okay, so I don't think this applies. And the third one, which students should be very familiar with this time. This is when you work for money. OK， 咁好多同學啦 ，OK， 放咗學之後就去教一啲校隊啊 ，OK， 教啲學校嘅班啊 ，OK， 其實就係呢個 late afternoon section。咁呢個 late afternoon section 咧，最多一定係小朋友啦 ，OK， 相比頭先嗰兩個得。And if you move on, the next one will be the early evening sections. So that means around like 6 to 7, okay, something like that. Okay. So for the early evening sections, okay, people used to do the following: studying, family time, okay, part-time jobs, television, okay, blah blah blah. And the last one, okay, which all of you guys should very familiar with this schedule, is the late evening schedule. So for the late evening schedule, okay, it will wait until in the morning, okay, sometimes 2 or 3 o'clock or 4 in the morning. OK， 咁留意翻啦，呢一啲嘅 section 咧就會一定唔會 fit 到小朋友噶啦 ，OK， 同埋老人家噶啦，會一定係後生先至會做呢啲嘅啫 ，OK。So in the textbook, they also mentioned to be 3 related sections. The first one is the early morning. So that means before you wake up. OK， 即係嗰啲老人家去行晨運嗰段時間得唔得 ？Noon hour, OK, might apply okay, in office ladies, OK, or people used to have a busy working schedule. OK， 咁如果你係好忙嘅，咁通常咧我哋都會有個正嘅時段啦。And evening dinner hour, OK, that means time before dinner. But in Hong Kong, I don't think it applies. OK, but still have an idea of that. So for the time schedule, okay, as I said, okay, we have different formats of doing that. So having a planned time schedule, it allows participants to know, okay, what is the specific time for the activities. Okay, but somehow, okay, it depends on the different program formats. 嗱，一個時間表咧，理論上咧會俾一個參加者一個好清晰嘅資訊嘅。OK， 我哋唔容許或者都唔希望整咗個表出嚟，然之後人哋睇唔明，係咪？好簡單。So one of the schedule, okay, that we use very often in the competition is the single elimination tournament. and the double elimination tournament。咁一個單淘汰嘅比賽啦嚇，同埋一個雙淘汰嘅比賽嘅準則。So they're different. So for the one on the left side, single elimination, it means if you are being eliminated, okay, in a single match, then you will come to the end. 你會完㗎啦，得唔得？ So take an example. If team number 4 play against team 7 and team number 4 lose, then team 4 will concede. 完㗎啦，得唔得？ But if you're using a double elimination system, what will happen is, if you lose, so let's see, okay, for the first match, if 1 versus 2 and 2 wins, 1 still have the chance to alive at the losers bracket, okay, 輸咗一次咧，未輸晒嘅，得唔得？咁幾時先輸晒咧？就係你連輸2次，得唔得？好似第二隊咁 ，OK， 佢呢度輸咗第一次 ，OK， 跟住佢就再落去同人哋打 ，OK， 又輸俾4號，咁佢咪連續2次輸，咁佢就會出局噶啦，得唔得 ？So we got a double elimination tournament and a single elimination tournament. So when should we use the single elimination? It's when there are too many teams and you don't have many time, okay, for them to play another match. Okay, but for double eliminations, if you don't have a lot of teams and you have a lot of time and you want them to play once more, okay, and you don't want the participants to feel very disappointed, okay, after losing a game, so you could arrange another game for them. 係啦，咁你要睇啦，究竟你個活動係點樣啦？如果你話我有好多時間 ，OK， 我唔介意打多幾場。咁你咪用右邊嗰個咯，但係如果你話隊數已經多啦，嘅時間有限啦，咁我哋就會選擇用左邊嗰個，得唔得 ？And there another competition schedule is like the what we call the group stage, okay, and then to the final stage, like NBA, okay， 咁 NBA 都係噶啦，咁你打常規賽啦，咁跟住就會打 playoff， 得唔得？係啦，咁所以有各種形式嘅 ，OK， 冇話係一概而論，一定要自己做嘅，得唔得？ And this is the program schedule for maybe a month. I use the 5th Hong Kong Games. I think the one more updated should be the Paralympic, which it is now in progress, or the Winter Olympics, which have already held in last month. OK， 咁呢個應該係另外一種嘅表達方法啦。咁我哋有好多唔同嘅項目嘅。OK， we got track and field, badminton, blah blah blah. Okay, and if you see, okay, the box are being highlighted, okay, under a specific date, it means that, okay, that event is going to be held on that day. OK， 咁呢個係一個再宏觀啲嘅一個 schedule 啦。咁田徑入面 ，OK， 10號、17號會舉行比賽。咁但係如果你話喂，我想用翻頭先嘅 schedule，OK， 或者一陣間後面仲有個，或者我最常見嗰個由朝頭早9點到夜晚7點 ，OK， 咁佢亦都會係 include 喺入面嘅。 得唔得？係啦，咁呢度咧，我哋最主要咧都係希望係俾多啲 example 嚟睇。OK， so this is the most typical one. Okay, like if you're going a camping, okay, blah blah blah, or if you go for competitions, okay. So we should have the preliminary round in the morning. 通常初賽啦，或者朝頭早啦。 Then you got the semi-final, and then you got the final. OK， 咁呢個係最 typical 嘅。OK， 咁時間就順序落啦嚇，呢個都唔多講啦。And this one, OK, is a bit different. It is only apply for facility. OK， 嗱咁 facility 即係場地都有佢哋場地嘅 schedule。咁同場地通常咧就係講緊邊啲時段俾邊一個用。 OK， 例如個泳池可能係逢禮拜3係清潔嘅 ，OK， 或者甚至乎運動場係逢閒日 ，OK， 是但一個禮拜2啊或者禮拜1係做保養嘅 ，OK 等等。咁呢個都係一個schedule 嘅，得唔得？咁我哋去做活動嘅時候咧，我哋其實要夾嘅 ，OK， 有啲 schedule 咧係你自己設計，有啲 schedule 咧你就要同人哋夾啦 ，OK， 即係例如我想7點鐘同班學生玩同水有關嘅活動得唔得咧 ？OK， 咁你就要睇啲時間 睇下人哋個時間表 fit 唔 fit 到你啦。OK。So like a camp schedule from the morning, okay, when you report to the camp, and then you have a short break and then have a dinner, okay, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is actually another way to describe, okay, the program schedule. So I hope, okay, you have an idea, okay, or have an understanding, okay, of the program schedule, okay, in the second sections. 咁而家我哋講咗啦 ，venue arrangement 啦，第一個啦，好緊要啦。咁你記住諗嘅時候咧，唔好諗得咁簡單，OK，我諗個場地喺邊，OK，你要做埋一個 on-site 嘅 visit，OK，落去睇場。好啦，到 program schedule 都係，唔好諗到一定係 A 啊 A 啊 B 啊 B 啦 C 啊 C 啦。雖然係個 flow 係咁，OK，但係中間有一啲嘢咧係你可以做少少嘅 adjustment。OK，so shall we just take a break? Okay, maybe around like 5 to 10 minutes. OK， 咁啱啱講咗差唔多1個鐘啦，咁俾大家休息5至10分鐘。咁翻到嚟咧，我哋就會完成埋呢一課嘅。OK， 跟住我哋先至做我哋嗰個嘅in-class assignment。OK， so let's take a short break, and I will see you in a minute. Okay, so let's come back for the second part of the lecture. So now let's move on to the third sections, okay, of the program plan. So the first section is all about the equipment, supplies, and materials. So when you organize an event, okay, when you plan the event, you need to prepare all the materials, okay, that are being used in the program. In referring to the chapter 2, okay, we have introduced two types of supplies. So one is the consumables and one is the non-consumables. And remember, you need to include those leisure objects, which is the most compulsory one, okay, the most important objects, okay, in the program. Otherwise, when you run the program, okay, then you just realize, okay, you miss out something. Okay, so this is not a very good practice. Okay, so that's why we need to prepare it beforehand. So we got some equipment, supplies, and material. So I would say equipment and supplies is easily accessible. OK， 咁supplies 同 equipment 咧係相對於比 material 咧係會容易啲安排嘅。OK，because you can actually being buy those items or being bought from anywhere. OK，although you might need to take some time. OK， for the process. OK, to deliver it to your organizations. But all in all, okay, if you talk about like materials, okay, they're in a different way. So for materials, it really depends on how complex it is. So think in this way: if you need to construct something, okay, construct something for the event, okay, 你要即係可能砌嘅 okay, so like the performance stage, okay, if you're having an outdoor concert, okay, 咁例如我喺戶外搞一個音樂會啦 ，okay， 咁我要砌個台出嚟噶嘛 ，okay， so you need to construct a performance stage, okay, so it takes time, money, and you might need to hire, okay, a register engineer, okay， 咁可能你要請一個合資格嘅工程師 ，okay。Because I don't know if you know there's a run rule called the 1.7 meters rule. OK， 有一個叫1.7米嘅限制。咁逢喺一啲公眾地方啦或者係啦一個 open area 咧，你要搭一啲咁嘅棚啊，可能係過咗某一定嘅高度咧，其實你係要去建築署去申請一個 permit 嘅。OK，you need to apply for a permit. Okay, for building something or construct something, okay, in a public area. So if you don't have their consent or their agreement, okay, so simply, okay, you are not be able to do that. And if you do that without any consent, it is illegal. Okay, 咁係違法嘅。Okay， 咁所以咧，好多時候我哋去諗呢啲嘅嘢嘅時候咧，你就要諗清楚究竟我係咪真係需要咁樣做？如果我真係需要咁做，我係咪要預多啲時間去做 ？OK， 就唔好話我要起個台今日呢2個禮拜得㗎啦 ，OK。咁但係可能事前有好多準備功夫你要做嘅，可能你要聯絡嗰間廣告公司啦然之後佢要幫你申請嗰個 permit 啦 ，OK， 攞咗個 permit 之後咧，你先至可以起嘅 ，OK。咁所以話複唔複雜又唔係太複雜，話繁唔複又唔係話繁複嘅，因為你係跟程序啫嘛。但係如果你話用嘅時間係咪好多？係，佢係會用好多嘅，得唔得？ So you need to be able to classify, okay, which one is the supply, which one is the material, and which one is the equipment, okay? So then let's move on to the next part. Will be the program setup. Okay, so program setup plan is pretty straightforward. Okay, and I believe most of you, okay, you have the experience of doing that before, maybe in your intern one, okay, or in some of the voluntary jobs. Okay 啦，咁場地嘅設定我哋叫場地嘅設定，即係你要設定一個場地啦，你要幫手 set 晒啲嘢啦。So a detailed plan should be specified. So if you don't include the detailed plans in your program plan, so what will happen is you might not be able to deliver okay what you expect。嗱，如果你即係唔寫清楚究竟嗰個計劃係點樣做啦，或者個安排係點樣咧，咁好大機會咧，做咗出嚟嘅嘢同你諗嘅嘢咧，可能會有少少出入嘅。Okay, so that's why we need to make sure that you provide all the details, okay, of the program plan, okay, the details of the program setup in the program plan, okay, and after providing a detailed plans, I personally would recommend to insert or to include a briefing sections。即使你俾咗份嘢咧，我好相信啦，或者你哋都會明嘅。好多時候你掉咗份嘢落去咧，你未必有時間睇，甚至乎有啲同學係根本唔使睇嘅。OK， 覺得係咁係咁。咁好多時候，如果你齋睇啦咁未必真係表達到你想要表達嘅。咁所以我哋通常都會連埋個 briefing section 一齊做嘅，得唔得 ？And some of the events, okay, they require the organizations to build a specific atmosphere。OK， 咁可能咧有啲機構咧就需要佢哋去設計或者去營造一個氣氛嘅。OK， 咁所以有陣時咧 program set up 咧會夾埋頭先我哋講嗰三樣嘢啦 ，equipment、supplies 同埋 material 一齊做嘅。OK， 因為有啲嘢可能你係要 through 頭先嗰一部分去預備嘅。OK， 到你真係 set up 嘅時候咧，你先用佢嗰啲嘅材料咯，得唔得 ？And program setup is a very time-consuming stage。係啦，唔好諗住set up，即係我朝頭早9點去咁我哋做義工啦我哋7點半去到嘅，好辛苦啦 ，OK 早啲嚟 set up 晒。而家我哋講緊嘅嘢咧係個場係零嘅 ，OK，there's nothing in the court，and you need to help to deliver，OK，deliver all the equipments to the court，OK，this involves like a logistic arrangement。OK， 而家我哋講緊唔係你就咁去到人哋叫你幫手搬呢樣嘢搬嗰樣嘢，唔係嘅，係再講再之前嘅嘢，係個場啱啱俾咗你啦。OK， 我俾咗一個吉嘅場你，即係一個開放式嘅空地咁樣。OK， 咁你就要由0砌到100或者0砌到50咧，你要負責幫手去搬嘢、去 order 嘢、去成嘅。咁呢個就係我哋講嘅 program setup。And you need to calculate the manpower because it involves a lot of individuals. How many staff you need, okay, or how many outsources, okay, contractors, okay, do you need them to be present? Okay, so it involves a lot of people, okay, at the same time. And you may need a work request form. Okay, a request form means that you need to submit some forms, okay, to ask for the approval, okay, or ask for their consents。OK， 唔係話你做就做。OK， 好多嘢嘅時候咧，除非個場係你 ，OK， 你話點就點。但係如果個場唔係你嘅時候咧，唔係話你認為咁樣做就得啦。好多嘢你係要同人哋傾，同人哋傾完人哋俾你做，你先至去做，得唔得 ？And of course, if it is possible, remember involve yourselves in the setup, because you are the only one who has the whole picture in your mind. OK， your subordinates, okay, contractors, your volunteers are those who are helping you, okay, rather than planning, design it by them. OK， 咁你需要咧，真係要利用你嘅技術 ，OK 或者技巧去同人哋講，究竟你點樣去 set up 嘅，得唔得？當然你自己一手一腳做唔係唔得，但係你會做死自己咯。So now let's take a look one of the program setup of the adaptive games program. Okay. So this is a program for moderate intensity students. Okay, 俾中度 moderate intellectual disability 中度智障嘅小朋友。So you will notice that we got a registration desk. Okay, for the setup, we got the seats. Okay, in this area, this is the game area. You got the guest seats, marshal area, and the presentation area. Okay, so these are the most typical one. Okay, 最簡單最直接嘅啦，得唔得？咁但係如果你將呢個 program setup, if you involve the program setup with the equipment, supplies, okay, setup. Okay, so you may have to include all the equipments, okay, being needed, okay, for each area. So for example, like a registration desk, you need a table, you need 2 chairs, okay, you need a mic or whatever, okay. And if you are at the price presentations, okay, you should set up a backdrop, okay. You need to ensure that there are some human resource, okay, staying there, okay, like those officials, okay. And if you move on to the guest seats, okay, you might need to have some nice chairs, okay, tables, or etc. Okay, blah blah blah. OK， 咁嗱，其實每一個嘅地方啦嚇，即係每一個場入面嘅地方咧，都需要唔同嘅物資。OK， 咁你 set up 嘅時候其實好講求你要有適量嘅物資啦，真係幫到人嘅。OK， 咁你先至完成到個 set up 噶嘛。OK， 如果你發覺哇去到乜都漏晒嘅，OK， 咁點樣 set up 咧 ？OK。And this is the other floor plan, okay, or setup plan of the same events. 嗱，頭先嗰版咧，你就見到佢係咁樣設計 ，okay. But from year and year to year after, okay, so they try to change something, okay, this time. So for the spectator area, they put to one side. So for the price orientation, which is quite near to the entrance and exit. And for the registration, it's still the same and near the entrance. And you realize that the marshal area is in the middle this time, okay, rather than on the one side, okay? So it really depends on how you wish to do or we used to set up, okay, for a program. 嗱，好講求你點樣設計嘅啫。頭先嗰一版咧，你就會見到有兩個出入口嘅。Okay, in the previous slide, okay, 你自己撳上撳落啦，我呢度唔撳。So you will see that, okay, there's 2 exits. However, in this year events, they only design 1 exit and entrance, and at the same door, and they rather, okay, block the other door, okay, instead of open another exit and entrance area。好啦，咁你會覺得好奇怪，或者以往都係兩個出入口嘅，但係你唔好唔記得，頭先我講緊呢個活動，我哋 serve 嘅 population 係咩？係中度智障嘅小朋友或者嚴重智障嘅小朋友。中度嘅智障小朋友佢哋有啲咩特性啊？嗱，我哋又去翻we go back to the 6 situative activity system. The first one, people. So what are the characteristics of people with moderate intensity? One of the characteristics is, okay, they may try to escape, okay, from the sports venue. 原來咧，機構話俾我哋聽咧，啲仔啊，佢哋好中意咧偷走。OK， 早幾年用嗰個嘅 floor plan 咧，唔係唔 work， 但係咧好大機會亦會走仔。咁你走，第時你都會知㗎啦。你 intern 2有機會你去做到特殊學校，走仔係一件好嚴重嘅事，直情唔見咗個仔。咁你點樣同人哋個阿媽交代咧？仲要你知智障嘅小朋友可能出到去佢哋唔識㗎嘛 ，OK？ 咁所以係一個好嚴重嘅錯失嘅操守嚟。咁所以咧，當年咧就將呢個出入口咧擺咗同一個位。OK， 咁當然你話使唔使要 security guard 啊等等咧，咁又未去到咁誇張。OK， 但係咧出入口咧我哋就會係開同閂咧就會係好嚴謹嘅。OK， 即係一個出一個入。OK， 就可能係出入唔會同時間出現。係咁就避免頭先嗰個情況發生。喂，咁但係你話喂唔係喎，你 mainstream 嘅喎檔啊，咁你會唔會淨係搞一個出入口啊？好大機會你都唔會嘅。OK， 因為點解？你啲人會點解會仲唔喺度孖叉你？哇！一入同出又一齊咁樣撞嚟撞去，喺一陣間我點知邊個入邊個出啊？咁即係佢哋知佢哋好多咁嘅 complain 嘅。 OK，咁所以我哋都要因應翻我哋個活動嗰個需要去做少少嘅調整嘅。OK，千祈唔好諗一樣嘢就係、永遠都將 A 嘅 events 擺落去 B events。其實我好老實咁話俾你聽，某啲嘢咧唔會有咩大錯嘅。OK，但係有啲嘢咧你係做得唔好咧，人哋就會投訴你咯。OK，咁所以諗得周詳啲咧，就係即係你都要代入去個角色度諗一諗，明唔明白？So if they really don't have a clear understanding, okay, of how the program being set up, so what we usually do is we try to give them a few pictures. Okay, of course, if you could give the exactly pictures to the participants or the people who are in charge of this program, okay, then pretty straightforward. OK， 咁有時我哋會加插一啲相啊 ，OK， 即係去提醒翻，喂，我哋個場係咁 set 嘅，得唔得？係啦，即係可能你會見到 OK，第一我個入口啦，可能係比平常大啦嚇，因為我哋有輪椅嘅 user，OK，調翻轉我哋可能要喺地下 mark 晒啲嘢啦，要畫個 partition 啦，咁呢啲我哋都係要一早已經諗定嘅，得唔得？甚至乎最簡單嗰個場個大細。OK， 咁點解召集處嗰個 area 係特別大啊 ？OK， 呢個動物快回家嘅遊戲嗰個佔嗰個範圍亦都咁大啊 ！OK， 相對係籃球啲咁細嘅 OK， 咁我哋都要睇翻我哋嗰個活動嗰個 nature。So now, okay, I show you a floor plan. Okay, could anyone guess where this？有冇人諗到呢度係邊度嚟？喺香港。Okay, and I guess okay, most of you okay, you have been visited this place. So this is actually in the Hong Kong side. Okay, it's a stadium. Okay, not the Hong Kong Coliseum Stadium， 唔係香港體育館啦So this is actually the Queen Elizabeth. Okay， 伊利沙伯體育館。Okay, so for the one okay above, okay, is actually for the ground floor. So the one in the below is the first floor. Okay, but if you have never been to here, okay, by looking at the floor plan, okay, you will have an idea of how the venue looks like. Okay, but they don't give you a lot of information like the dimensions. Okay， 佢哋有冇提供一啲例如嗰個場地嘅門嘅大細個電梯OK 個距離嗰啲全部咧，其實你睇呢個表咧係冇提供俾你。咁冇提供俾你，你係咪搞唔到活動？唔係，但係有啲位咧你遇唔到嘅。Okay， so if you don't know the distance, okay, you may not be able to know whether you can set up those materials in it. Okay, so very often you are required to go for a site visit. 任何將來你做活動都係㗎，你一定要去做一個實地考察。實地考察咧，其實就係影低啲相，同埋你行過一次咧，你會熟個架步嘅。Okay, so I could tell you that okay because during my old days, okay, I was working in this one of the events okay, in Hong Kong, and they require us to draw the setup plan。咁當其時我都接到個 task 要做咧，就係幫手畫嗰個場地嘅設計圖。OK， 咁佢哋講到明咧，個目的就係唔想太多人咧四散喺呢個 ground floor。咁當其時咧，我冇記錯咧，我哋就將樓梯呢個位置封咗嘅，封晒。售票處我唔喐得嗰陣時 ，OK， 咁但係我租咗佢個館咧，我呢度都 block 埋嘅，係啦。咁即係咧，如果一個 general public 入嚟咧，佢只可以去售票處，呢度都封咗噶啦，樓梯都唔俾行啦，樓梯又唔行得，淨係得電梯行得嘅啫呢個位。咁咧啲人咧自然就會咁樣過嚟。 跟住就去到報到處啦，跟住就上樓，得唔得？但係如果你要諗下，你唔將呢啲嘅所謂嘅嘢封咗咧，啲人可能參加你個活動嘅，有啲人咧就會行咗入去呢度，有啲人就呢度上 ，OK， 咁問題出現㗎啦 ，OK， 咁你最主要係點啊？你要管理嗰個入場嘅人數啊嘛，或者管理入場人嘅資格啦嚇。可能我呢個比賽唔係公開 to public 嘅 ，OK， 咁你最簡單可能你要同康文署啦去夾啦，例如我要佢請個 security 嘅，你呢個 security standing here to check the tickets，OK， 咁都仲可行。咁但係當其時啦，我哋都好初步啦，我哋都冇諗住有街外客嘅，咁所以我哋索性封咗佢，就逼佢哋咧嚟呢度。OK， 咁嚟到報到處啦，咁啊。而家我諗多啲嘢做㗎啦，要填健康申報啊，成咁樣啦。填完之後咧就搭電梯上去，咁上到去咧就會見到呢一個2樓嘅platform。So on the left side is the function room 1, on the right side is the function room 1. Okay, 1 and 2. And this time, okay, we want to strictly restrict that for participants who participate in this program to go to the third floor。咁2樓咧，我哋有少少嘅調整啦。我哋嘅目標咧就係要令到參加者即係運動員啦，上到去3樓，而上去3樓嘅時候咧係唔會受到其他人嘅騷擾。咁所以當其時我哋框住中間呢個位置，框咗一邊嘅樓梯。嗱，如果同學去過咧，你應該知道呢度有條樓梯係上去觀眾席嘅，呢邊咧就係落同埋上嘅電梯嘅啫，得唔得？咁當其時啦，我哋都係要保住呢個3樓嘅 area 啦，因為佢係一個比賽場地啦，但我哋都唔容許一啲公眾人士入去啦。咁我哋就 block 咗呢一嚿，係啦，我哋喺嗰度咧又整多個登記處，係啦，就要 screen 一 screen 究竟嗰啲人係咪合資格上去 ？OK， 咁如果合資格咁咪上去。咁其他嘅人係點算咧？即係觀眾啦。咁其實佢兩邊有唔同嘅樓梯嘅。咁我哋就會邀請啲參加者喺呢邊入，即係邀請啲公眾人士 OK 呢邊入場。咁所以雖然呢啲係好 straightforward，OK，I would say these are very straightforward. But what I want you to think is you need to at least have a look how it's look like and to try to measure some of the distance if it is required。如果你需要去度一啲嘅距離咧，請你喺睇場日子咧做埋呢一個嘅量度嘅步驟，得唔得？因為咧你影相咧，而家好興啊，我自己都係㗎，你會去個場影相，影完相之後咧翻嚟就有，但係咧好多嘢咧就係俾唔到一個實質嘅數字嚟。OK， 喂幾長啊 ？OK 幾闊啊 ？OK 唔知喎。OK 得唔得？ And this is another floor plan of a North District Park. So if you're going to organize an open like events again here, so of course you need to have a look of the floor plan before you set up or before you plan where to put your those equipment. OK， 咁都要觀察一下啦嚇，即係睇，起碼你有個 idea。OK。咁最常見，如果搞啲大型嘅戶外賽事啦嚇，我都會留意翻個洗手間，因為洗手間咧係非常之緊要，尤其是係嗰啲人咧，如果佢哋係即係真係可能要用廁所啦，咁你一個廁所未必夠，咁我亦都會留意下會唔會有其他廁所啦。咁如果真係冇其他廁所咧，咁下一個後備方案咧就可能會點啊？會準備定一啲流動嘅廁所 ，OK， 俾參加者。So this is another floor plan. Okay, so you will see okay they break down them into a very clear categories. 咁都分得好清楚㗎啦。OK， 看台喺邊，賽道喺邊 ，OK， 邊一度係廁所，邊度係中心等等。OK， 咁呢個我諗其實如果你有啲大型啲嘅地方，你一定會係大型啲嘅場啦，都會有啲咁嘅指示㗎啦。 OK，咁但係你需唔需要改呢啲指示咧？就其實留待你去決定啦。Okay, so for the setup plan, okay, I hope you have a very clear idea. And remember, when you need to do a site visit, okay, it's a compulsory site visit. 就算人哋唔俾 site visit 你咧，你都要堅持攞即係去做呢樣嘢，得唔得？真係會好唔同。And then let's move on to the next one is the program animations plan. Animations 咧就係一個漫畫啦，係一個連環圖啦。So for the animation plan, we want to share the plan with other staffs. Okay. So imagine, okay, during a competition, we have different parties. Okay, for example, you got the officials, you got the athletes, you got the coach, you got the first aid, first aider, okay, blah blah blah. So we have to know, okay, or we have to let them know what are their roles and what will happen, okay, if something's happened. 我哋要話俾參加者知、觀眾知、裁判知、OK 救護員知，我哋嗰個程序係點樣做。So when you know, okay, what the stuff is, okay, so the next part is we have to try to use a flames of interactions. 嗱，咁我哋咧點樣去做咧？我哋首先咧就會將個牆咧切開唔同嘅部分 ，OK？ 例如 ，so you in the next page you will see we got song A, song B, song D, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, OK? And in each songs, please indicate who or whom they are. 咁你要寫清楚究竟每個場地入面有啲咩唔同嘅人 ，OK 係啦。例如我而家搞個田徑比賽，我可能用 F 呢個場地啦。咁 F 呢個場地入面起碼會有裁判啦，會有田徑運動員啦，有觀眾啦等等。OK， 好啦，當你列明晒佢有咩人之後咧，你就要去諗佢嗰個時序啦。OK， 究竟佢由返工一刻到收工一刻，佢有啲咩做？係啦。And then, so you need to put it in a sequence from the beginning until the end of the day. So try to produce a scenario of actions. Okay, try to let me know that what is going to be happen. Okay, in the day. 咁唔同時間發生唔同嘢 ，OK， 唔同人、唔同地點、唔同時間都會發生唔同嘢。咁所以咧，我哋而家就要歸納佢一個地點 ，OK， 有唔同人做緊啲乜嘢。好啦 ，so now OK you can have a look for this adaptive games program for moderate intellectual disabilities students. So we have Song 1, Song 2, Song 3, Song 4, Song 5, and Song 6. Right? So now I want you to do one thing. I want you to think from the participants' view. Secondly, think from the volunteers' view. And thirdly, think from the VIP. Yes. 好啦，咁以上咧有3個嘅。第一個咧就係參加者，第二個咧就係志願者或者義工啊，第3個咧就係一啲嘅嘉賓。OK， 咁而家咧我俾5分鐘你，所以 I will give you 5 minutes. Please try to put the songs into a sequence of different scenarios. 好啦，如果係參加者咧。請你幻想一下，佢去到場嘅時候，佢會首先去邊一個松，之後去邊個松，之後去邊個松，直至到邊一個松完，係啦。請你咧寫低佢先，用次序寫得㗎啦。 例如你覺得佢鬆 one 行先，跟住到鬆 two，鬆 two 跟住到鬆 five，鬆 five 到鬆 six，six 跟住去2、3咁樣都得。你寫低你嗰個程序俾我。第一個講多次啦，係參加者；第二個係義工；第三個係嘉賓，得唔得？好啦，咁你咧先砌咗嗰個時序先。
我想問個3係咩？我睇唔清楚。
3係個 Marshall Area，
好
召集處。你個 notes 唔清楚啊？定我嗰度唔清楚？
阿 Sir， 我想問咧，你上面寫嗰度第3個係咩嚟㗎？
我呢個3，
係啊，
呢個3 ，sorry。
唔緊要，唔該晒。
VIP guest 嘉賓啊，係啦。咁你而家咧你就寫低我認為係1先啦，跟住5啦，跟住4啦，或者3啦，或者2啦，係啦。So try to think this sequence. So if you have the answer with you, just keep it first. keep 住先。好啦，咁我諗大概你應該會有個 idea 嘅。好啦，咁如果你有個答案啦，咁勞煩你咧就去一去 Moodle。Okay, so please go to the Moodle, and then please type your answers in here。我哋有3類人啦嚇，有 participants 啦，有 volunteers 啦，有 VIP guests。咁請你哋填完之後咧，將你嘅答案 click 入去啦嚇。跟住咧會有個格仔，俾你打。咁你咪打鬆 one， 跟住鬆 five， 鬆 six 咁樣，或者就咁156都得，冇所謂，得唔得？跟住撳 enter。好，我睇一睇你哋答案係咩。
Billy Sir 開唔到嗰啲，
開唔到咩
Moodle 裏邊啊，
冇理由。
佢撳落去話嗰個 feedback 未 open。
等陣 ，sorry 啊。OK， 而家應該等陣啊，第一個應該得㗎啦，第二個都得㗎啦。好，填落去啊！依家應該填到㗎啦。好，我睇下你哋答案係咩先。 好，我見大部分同學都係1、2行先嘅，跟住咧就會係4又有啦，5又有嘅。OK，咁啊有啲咧就冇4嘅，就1、2、3係啦，2、3、5、2行先都有嘅。先有啲就1、6、4、3、2、1添。OK，有啲就1、2、3、6、4係啦。OK，好啊。嗱咁我諗嗱冇一個絕對嘅答案嘅，其實真係冇一個絕對答案嘅。原因係因為咧，好睇你係點樣去諗。OK，咁通常咧，嗱我哋先講第一個啦。應該大家都做到噶啦。咁就係個 participants。咁 participants 咧，無論如何咧，第一個咧都一定係1先嘅。嗱錯咗冇所謂嘅，OK，錯咗冇所謂嘅，純粹係俾大家去體驗一下嘅。好啦，去完報到處啦，報到。咁有啲同學咧好好嘅，就會叫佢去 Zone 2嘅。OK，咁有啲同學咧就直接去Zone 3嘅。嗱，咁其實睇兩樣嘢啦。嗱，1去2咧，其實我明白到啲同學咧就可能佢報到咗，佢未參加比賽喎，咁佢咪去2去準備咯。跟住2下一個就會點啊？報到處或者召集處會嗌佢個名啦，咁就會去3。咁呢個好合理啦。咁有啲咧就可能係我嚟到報到啦 ，OK， 佢就即刻去召集處到報到嘅 ，OK， 然之後去參加比賽都可以嘅，得唔得？咁但係如果我覺得你仔細啲咧，我就會覺得係1、2、3跟住6啦，係啦。咁但係你1、3、6都唔可以話你錯。好啦，咁跟住咧，但係有啲同學咧就會加咗個4落去嘅。呢個4我就唔係好明啦，因為呢個係 for 參加者噶嘛。OK，咁參加者理論上同4咧應該係冇任何嘅關係嘅。咁答嘅時候咧應該係冇4呢一個 option。OK， 好啦，咁其實如果咁講1、2、3、6，咁啊得翻5嘅啫。嗱，咁但係有啲同學咧喺5之前咧又加翻個2嘅，係啦，即係個答案咧係1、2、3、6、2、5，或者1、2、3、6、5，咁就要睇咩性質啦。如果你係1、2、3、6、5啦嚇，即係我哋冇咗翻去坐低呢個動作咧，我自己覺得咧，你哋或者我會認為係啦嚇。當你去參加完呢一啲嘅攤位遊戲，你可能係攞到一個印仔。Okay, so you have some stamps. Okay, when you complete the game booth, then you just proceed to the prize presentations to receive your award. Okay, so it makes sense, right? It makes sense. And if you put a 2 next to here, that means when you complete the race at stage number 4, then you will invite participants to stay here to take a rest and wait for the announcement released by the officials or the organizations. 咁就去2坐一陣，等大會公佈成績。咁然之後咧就會去5度攞獎，得唔得？嗱，咁所以我諗你哋應該會明嘅，就冇話一個絕對答案，唔好擔心話喂我唔係咁諗嘅 ，OK， 係啦，會唔會做唔到嘅活動？嗱，咁但係有幾樣嘢唔錯得嘅 ，OK， 例如你會唔會攞咗獎先去參加比賽 ？Will it happens 5 before 6？嗱，我自己覺得就冇可能，得唔得？另外，會唔會係參加完比賽先至去登記咧？都難啲嘅 ，OK。但係如果你話係登記攞獎品，但係呢度冇講嘛，呢啲 is not the registration desk for the prize reward。OK，so I would say 6 to 1 It's not possible。OK， 咁所以有啲嘢咧係唔可以咁樣發生嘅。咁你哋喺設計呢個活動嘅時候咧，你哋就要諗啦，清唔清楚 ？OK，so thank you for your response, and let's move on to the next one. The next one would be the volunteers。好啦，咁我又睇下大家嗰個 feedback 啦 ，volunteers。好啦 ，volunteers 咧，我睇下大家咧都會係認為，等陣啊，撳翻出嚟。好啦，好多同學咧都係一先啦嚇。They can be shown 1356 at any time 啦。咁有同學亦都 highlight 咗一個好好嘅 point 出嚟啦嚇。好啦，好多都係一行先嘅 ，OK。亦都有同學唔係一行先嘅，一嚟就已經係3啦 ，OK。嗱，咁有幾種説法嘅，咁就要睇一睇你個 registration 係做啲乜嘢啦。究竟佢係一個報到處啊，話俾人聽我到咗啊，定係根本唔需要嚟報到 ，OK。一嚟到 volunteer 就開工喺呢度準備，係啦。咁你要睇幾樣嘢啦。如果我哋用翻最多同學答嘅，我當咗1先啦，因為有同學答2先嘅。咁2嗰個咧，其實佢個幻想力咧都幾好噶，因為大家睇嘅嘢唔同。好啦，1最 typical 咧就係我嚟到我登記啦，即係好似做 intern 咁，我報到 ，OK。咁然之後咧，下一步咧你就會報到完啦，乖乖地坐喺度等咩啊？等被指示 ，OK。咁1之後2，咁之後可以去咩咧？通常咧可以去6，可以去4。可以去3，可以去5。咁點解咁嘅意思咧？我話一係6，一係4，一係3，一係5咧，就係你做一個參加者嘅時，你做一個義工嘅時候，可能你嚟到個場咧，6係乜嘢都未 set up， 4又乜嘢都未 set up， 3又乜嘢都未 set up， 5係乜嘢都未 set up。咁可能我哋隨機派啲人去幫手去做嘅 ，OK。咁如果你計埋人手嗰個統計啦嚇，可能鬆6咧，你點啊？你要多啲嘅義工係啦，可能鬆3啊 set 張台啊 set 幾張凳咧，可能相對少啲。OK， 咁呢度你去自己去再執過得唔得？咁亦都有同學咧一嚟咧就已經係2啦。OK，咁2咧一開始2先啦，咁之後咧佢就會去3係啦。咁可能咧嚟到呢度等大會召集。好啦，大會召集完之後咧。佢就去1做登記，係啦，登記咗，跟住咧就去5或者6或者甚至乎4去做 set up 嘅，得唔得？咁所以冇話個方向係啱定錯，得唔得？咁有啲同學話 they can be at zone 1, 3, 5, 6 at any time for help， 係啦。咁有啲同學咧就諗到原來咧個活動已經進行緊啦 ，OK。咁有啲咧可以 assign 一啲喺呢度。有啲 assign 喺呢一度，有啲 assign 喺呢一度，有啲 assign 喺呢一度，咁隨時做調配嘅，係啦，都得嘅，得唔得？好啦，咁睇埋最尾一個啦 ，VIP， 睇下大家嗰個睇法又點啦。好 ，VIP， 第一個係咪1咧？大家個答案？好啦，145，好啦，好多都係145、145或者6、14、13、14、14、15、14、14呢個25、25、25、254，254就難啲想像到嗱，但係14咧、15啦或者145咧，其實好合理嘅。一嚟到點啊？登記啦，你要知道邊個嘉賓到咗嘛。通常我哋會喺嘉賓嗰度，通常喺嗰個登記處度招呼啲嘉賓啦嚇，俾咩？俾個襟花佢啊，俾個長刊佢啊 ，OK， 同佢介紹下啊呢個係邊個啊咁嗰啲啦。咁大家都會幻想到啦。好啦，跟住咧立刻就掟佢4嘅，咁啱啦。嘉賓好位高權重噶嘛 ，OK， 咁啊梗係叫佢哋唔好咁粗魯啦 ，OK， 坐低先。坐低其實個嘉賓最終嚟嘅目的係咩？ 可能係嚟頒獎啦，係啦。咁有同學咧有錄嘅喎，OK，我都見到幾新穎啊。咁錄咧其實可能係點啊？我哋帶個嘉賓嚟睇下個場發生咩事啦，可能行一個圈啦，之後先翻去嘉賓席坐又得嘅，OK。咁但係大致上咧可能係1啦，頭先講啦4啦，咁呢個係最 typical 嘅。咁但係如果你想諗得再仔細啲咧，可能係1，跟住咧可能有啲同學6嘅，我見到 ，OK， 帶嘉賓行一個圈先，跟住咧嘉賓就座，跟住咧 prize present 頒完獎啦，咁可能咧邀請嘉賓嚟翻去座位，咁都得嘅 ，OK。咁所以咧冇絕對啱錯，得唔得？好，咁亦都多謝大家真係嘗試下諗嗰個 situation 啦。Okay, so if you go to the next page, so you will see that okay, we have different flames for people. We got participants, guests, volunteers, and spectators for this event this time. And we assign different zones, A, B, C, D, E, okay, representing different registration booth, first aid booth, starting point, finishing point, blah blah blah. OK， 咁你可以用 A、B、C、D 啦，你可以用個名啦報道處啦、急救中心啦、起點啦、終點啦等等。咁你要睇翻你係用邊一個嘅邊一啲嘅地方啦如果冇嗰個地方你又寫上去嘅，咁人哋咪唔知道去邊。So program schedule from the beginning until the end. Okay, so this is the animation plan. Animation plan is very, I would say, individualized. 好個人化嘅，得唔得 ？Okay, may not be by individual. It could also divided by department. 唔同部門嘅。點解話唔同部門咧？下一版你就知㗎啦。咁呢一度咧，唔詳細講啦，因為頭先都已經講過啦。如果 participants 一早幾點嚟到 ，guest 幾點嚟到 ，volunteers 幾點嚟到，去送 1、送 2、送 3、送 4、送 5咁樣嘅啫，得唔得？呢個咁你而家知道發生咩事啦。So when you do the briefing, okay, for those for the animation plan, okay, you could also attach some photos for easy reference. 咁有陣時咧。有啲人未必明嘅，可能睇埋幅圖咧就會更加容易明。係啦，咁如果你有圖嘅，你當然可以拎埋出嚟啦。如果冇嘅話，就用頭先嘅方法都得。So this is one of the program animation plan for an event. Okay, a middle-sized event. 嗱呢一個咧就係當年我哋做啦，就係一個 dance sports 係一個舞蹈嘅公開比賽啦。咁你會留意到㗎啦。Okay, so you will see that time. Okay, it's from 7:50, 10 to 8 to 8:35. And these are the tasks for what they're doing during that time. And we divided them into different departments. We got lighting, we got music department, we got the reception department. Okay, we got the on-site administrations, we got the marshal, we got the master of ceremony, we got the cheering team. Okay, so in here, okay, we list out 7 of them, but actually in the reality, there are more than 7 of them. 咁我呢度咧都 show 俾大家睇啦。類似啦，當年嘅。So you will see that 有啲細我盡量放大嘅。Okay, you got lightning, A, E department, F department, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Okay, so we got different departments working at the same time. Okay, so this is the department animation plan. Okay 啦，呢個就係正頭先你哋諗寫答案落去 Moodle 嗰樣嘢啦，你就係要咁樣去諗個時序啦。嗱，保安啦，先係5點啦，做清場啦，好，跟住一路碌到落去 ，OK， 清場傳媒 ，OK， 要放排隊處 ，OK 等等，呢個係佢哋要做嘅。 好啦，表演嘉賓啊 ，OK， 可能係有啲咩做啊，請邊個董事長啊，幾時彩排，幾時開始彩排，幾時入場 ，OK 等等。呢啲咁嘅所有嘅嘢咧，都係將來你哋要做嘅，唔得。So if you don't work in detail, or you don't think before this happen, then you will have a lot of trouble. 你唔預先諗清楚個程序點發生咧，你會有好多麻煩嘅。你到時話原來會咁發生㗎，原來係咁㗎。OK， 同埋你要記得 ，and please refer to chapter 1. Remember leisure experience, we got lots of on-site participations. 康樂嘅活動咧係需要參加者係親身參與，係啦。如果你唔親身參與咧，你係唔會得到嗰個嘅體會。咁正正就係呢樣嘢啦。我哋作為一個 program 嘅 leader， 我哋要預先諗定嗰樣嘢點樣發生，預先諗定佢幾時會開心，幾時會唔開心，幾時會好激動。OK， 呢啲我哋所有都要盡量諗到得就諗到啦，得唔得？就唔好好似參加者咁一齊去 explore 呢樣嘢。OK， 如果 explore 呢樣嘢咧，你唔識應變咧，咁就好大，就好頭暈㗎啦。OK， so and the last part is the program management plan. So this time, okay, for the program management plan, it's different from the animation plan. As I said, for the animation plan, it is by individual and by department. But this time, okay, we need to combine them all together. 今次咧，我哋就需要所有部門一齊去配合啦。OK， 就完成呢個我哋叫管理嘅計劃啦，或者一個行動嘅方案啦。我知我咁講。So what you should do, okay, in this program management plan? So first of all, you need to outline how the events being implemented. 頭先我哋都做緊呢樣嘢，但係做一個角色嘅啫。今次咧，我哋成個 program 去睇啦，由 book 場，頭先講 book 場係幾耐之前啊？1年前開始，到1年後個活動進行完嗰個 moment， 所有嘅嘢我哋都要寫清楚、寫低，得唔得 ？And this is a very important techniques, okay, for programmers to identify whether they have achieved the task or they have completed the task. 咁呢個係一個好好嘅技巧咧，讓嗰個programmer， OK， 即係嗰個項目嘅總監啦，去衡量一下究竟佢有冇做到呢樣嘢或者冇做嘢。So we need to use a checklist or and a flowchart method。咁呢兩樣嘢咧係連埋一齊嘅，我哋要有個 checklist 先至可以寫到個 flowchart 嘅，得唔得 ？And in the checklist, you need to sequentially, okay, ordering and prioritize the tasks. As I said, resources are limited. You need to prioritize, okay, which task should do first, which task should do last. Okay, 你要識分先後次序，得唔得 ？So now let's take a look. So for the flowchart method, which is the second steps of the flowchart, okay, so you need the checklist first. So in the checklist, okay, we will divide the program into its major functions and generate a list of necessary tasks or activities that must be addressed. Prioritize and place all to a flowchart. So this is just some of the factual explanations, and the most important parts would be here. 呢度我講一次啦。So this is actually for a summer day camp program. 好啦，搞一個 summer day camp program， 大概需要幾耐咧？So you will see, this is a small scale program. You will see the deadline, okay, was on the January of 15 for the designing program. And if you take a look when the program starts, it's in the August. It means that, okay, they need at least 7 months to prepare, okay, or to design at the beginning. 佢哋大概7個月時間咧去準備同埋設計個活動。Okay, So first of all, the first steps when we do for the flowchart is we have to put down 5 components。OK， 先寫低5樣嘢先。OK， 嗱你自己 mark 低啦。第一樣嘢寫低呢個啦，第2、第3、第4，同第5我呢度加一個嘅。第5係 PIC。PIC stands for person in charge。OK， 負責嘅，邊個負責 ？OK， 呢個第一樣嘢。好啦，第二樣嘢 ，OK，the second steps you need to do is try to break down the program into different parts. So this time, okay, they break down into design part, site selection, staffing, promotion, equipment, registration, staff training, program operations, evaluations. You could also add your own, okay, like the one in my events, security. For example, like the price presentation, okay, blah, blah, blah. So just add any part that you think it is applicable in your program. 呢度唔係話淨係寫啲2、4、6、9個嘅，唔得，10個、11個、12個，即係好似我頭先 show 俾你睇我嗰個 PowerPoint 咁，唔係我個 Excel。有 finance， 有裁判，有計分，有傳媒，有保安 ，OK， just add things that you think it is apply， OK， and then after that you need to use a few words to describe what is it in under the promotion part。係啦，咁你要寫清楚 promotion 入面有咩啦。最簡單可能 program design 呢度太簡單啦，我就會加多幾個嘅。你哋學過嘅 need assessment 啦，係咪？你要 design 個 need assessment 嘅 questionnaire 啦，你要時間去 collect feedback 啦嚇，係啊，呢啲你可以自己加落去，得唔得？咁但係書上面冇寫得咁仔細。OK， 咁我都希望你一陣間咧做呢份 worksheet 嘅時候啦，仔細諗一下，其實你個活動由0到100點樣可以做到最完美、最完美。And you could put down the time required to complete in weeks or months. Okay, depends on you。咁通常咧，我哋都會用幾多週計嘅，幾多週計得唔得？咁make it realistic。例如啊，so for example like promotion。When you need to plan or design the flyer, it may take more time than distributing them。設計一定耐過你派啦。總之合乎翻現實生活中嘅時間就得㗎啦，得唔得 ？And before that, you need to set a deadline. Because when we take a look at the deadline, we could have a clear cut. So for example, today is the 8th of March. So what should we finish? Research supply 應該做完㗎啦。今日3月8號 send 晒啲宣傳單張去個 printer 度準備人啦。一早設計咗啦嚇。仲有啲咩我要做嘅 ？OK， 暫時係咁多。呢啲做咗啦。好啦，嚟緊呢個禮拜有咩做啊？我要 order equipment。OK， 呢個咧 time 呢個 deadline 咧係順便提埋你本人幾時要做。係啦，或者大概咩時候你要做，得唔得 ？And the last column 自己加啦，唔好意思啊 ，PIC 邊個負責啊？可能係 Billy Sir 可能係阿成咁啦，可能係咗邊個？求其啦，當啦阿 Grace 啦可能阿樂咁樣，你咪自己寫低咯，得唔得 ？Okay, so this is the way that how you do the checklist。嗱，呢個係第一部分嘅。好啦 ，so when you complete this checklist, then you move on to the next page. So the next page is pretty simple. Please draw a line, the arrow 剪咗佢 ，okay, from For example, 2021 to January, February, okay, 2022. And then you just need to pick the deadline, the dates you set, and to place on the area that align with the calendar. 嗱，一月尾啊，揩緊呢度啦，咁你見到佢拉條線，大概得㗎啦，得唔得？1月、4月、4月15、5月30 ，OK， 得唔得？唔使畫條線嘅 ，OK， 但係你要點一點話俾我哋聽 ，OK， 大概係去到咩嗰個 deadline 係幾時？咁方便我哋做啲乜嘢咧 ？If we draw a line, so for example, today is 8th of March, right? We draw a straight line here. So then, supposedly, we should finish all the things here. 呢邊嗰啲全部做晒㗎啦，理論上啊。如果有咩甩漏咧，咁點啊？圈低佢咯。哦，未做，再睇翻上一頁邊個做個 PIC 係邊個？咁點啊？咪問責咯。OK， 喂，點解仲未做完啊 ？OK， 嗱嗱聲做啦。OK， 其實個目的就係咁嘅啫，清唔清楚 ？So I show you some of the real examples. So this is actually from a Hong Kong game in of the LCSD. 好啦，咁康文署咧其實都有每2年咧都會有個全港運動會啦嚇。咁都會係類似咁嘅形式嘅。So they use a checklist method, which is pretty simple, okay, but we are not following the exactly concepts, okay, or principle of them. But I just want to highlight that they have a different task, which is clearly posted, okay, in the internet, okay. For example, you need to set up a website, you need to do internet promotion, you need to do the newspaper promotion, okay, in the broadcast promotion, okay, television promotion, and the promotion video. And they have also set up a not this time it's not a deadline, okay, but the release date. 好啦，咁今次咧佢就有少少同我哋唔同啦。我哋頭先就係講緊嗰個死線，今次人哋就係講佢幾時推出。OK， 咁假設今日係3月啦嚇，其實如果淨係睇呢版嘅咧，全部都未推出，得唔得？當今日係6月13號嘅 OK， 咁你就會知道原來我哋要做呢樣嘢，做呢樣嘢啦，得唔得？其實就係咁嘅啫。OK， so for the promotion task force, okay, it's only like 1 or 2 full-time workers, so they are responsible for that. So you could imagine how many parties are there, okay, in a big scale or large scale events. 咁你可以想像到其實一個大型嘅活動啦，或者一個大型嘅比賽咧，係涉及到幾多唔同嘅持份者啦嚇，或者嘅 parties 喺入面。OK， 呢班 parties 咧就淨係做宣傳嘅，一班 parties 咧就淨係做賽事嘅。So another way that people use the chart is, this time, okay, they put down the task name, okay, which is the same as us. Duration, they use days rather than weeks, okay, and they put down the start date and the end date this time, okay. 咁佢哋就用咗 start date 同 end date, okay. 咁今次咧佢哋畫埋條線啦 ，okay. They draw a whole line, okay, for this. So it means that, okay, if the line is longer, it takes more time to do that, okay. 咁你見到咧時間越長，條線咪越長。咁例如今日係10月31號呢度畫條線嘅，咁你就要知道有啲咩已經做咗，有啲咩未做，或者有啲咩做緊。And this one, okay, is the one that I work on, and I don't mind to show you again. 呢個係另外一隻啦。This one. This is the working calendar of mine. 咁當年咧，我一個人做嘅啫。咁啊，你就要聯絡晒唔同嘅部門啦。4月11號 ，OK， 你要去 Ubix，OK， 即係城市電腦售票網啦去搞呢啲嘅入場證啦。咁啊，財務嗰邊又要搞個協議書啊。OK， 好啦，去到4月20號啦，有啲咩要做啦 ？OK， 確定日期啦，我哋個幾招啦等等。幾時印嘢啊 ？OK， 唔係5月29，唔係4月29要印定。哇，跟住到差唔多活動進行啦，好似係6月幾。講啦嚇，有咩人嚟開會啊 ？OK， 國內人員開始到達啊 ，OK 等等，比賽，OK。So this is actually one of the flow chart, OK, of mine. OK 呢個我自己嘅。So now, OK, I want you to create your work plan this time, OK, for your own recreational events. So first of all, what you have to do is please make sure that you have already formed groups. 嗱，我頭先睇過咧，係有好多同學未分組。Okay, so some students they didn't form a group yet. 理論上應該有8組嘅，但係唔知點解得返7組，係啊。咁未有組咧，麻煩你見到位，見到邊度有空位咧，你就自己入嗰組先啦。如果唔係咧，今個禮拜我都見到你冇組啦，我就會幫你 assign 嘅，得唔得？咁陣間咧，我就會開個 breakout room 噶啦。So I will switch on the breakout room function. So I want you, with the same, I want students with the same group, okay, gets into the room, okay, together, and to work on your flow chart, in class assignments, okay. 咁我就想你哋咧用翻，可能同學已經諗住用上一次做功課嗰一個嘅活動名啦。去做你個 final project 嘅，咁你就可以藉住呢個機會咧，喺 breakout room 入面咧傾一傾你哋嗰個活動嚟緊個安排 ，OK？ 嚟緊有啲咩要準備 ，OK？ 當然我哋唔係真係要做一個活動出嚟 ，OK？ 但係你要諗下，假設你係將來要真係做呢個活動嘅時候，你就當係一個 workforce task，OK？ 去令到呢件事實現啦。咁一陣間咧，如果你係 group 2嘅，你就入 breakout room 2；group 3入 breakout room 3，OK， 如此類推，得唔得？係啦。咁如果冇組咧，你就可以睇下點樣自己加入去啦。呢個第一樣嘢係啦。咁一陣間你哋自己入咗去就自己搞啦。嗱，咁嗰個 program flow chart 咧就好簡單嘅啫，就係將你頭先 notes 入面嘅嘢，唔係抄嚇，我唔想你抄。有啲同學咧就將成份嘢揼埋落去嘅啫。第一，5個人一組啦，咁你唔使理個4字噶啦 ，OK， 寫翻低5個人得噶啦 ，OK。program title 就係你嗰個活動嘅名稱 ，OK。例如有啲人可能係去沙灘執垃圾嘅，可能有人係搞唔知咩大型嘅比賽 ，OK。我想你諗嘅比賽咧係圍繞住200至到300人嘅。So I want you to think of any events, recreation events that includes 200 or 300 participants. Okay, that would be a medium-size program. Okay, 一個中型嘅 program， 唔好諗到太大你做唔到嘅，因為太多嘢要準備。好啦 ，and then you put down the date of today， 今日得噶啦。So under the program checklist, okay, remember we have 5 components. Okay, and I know students will find it difficult to fill in this form. Okay， 咁嗱，你填呢份嘢嘅時候咧，同學會覺得啲位走晒嘅，其實都少少嘅啫。OK， 咁你中意用自己嘅方法，你可以 insert， 睇下係啦，你中意咁樣自己整過嘅，係啦，等陣啦。好啦，你可以咧 ignore 咗呢一個， 係啊，你可以嗱，因為佢個格式問題嘅。好啦，你可以自己開個 Word 嘅，我冇所謂嘅。但係咧，請你記住唔好漏啊，因為你漏咗咧，我就當你 miss 咗噶啦。咁你例如咁樣啦，呢度係啦，咁你咪寫翻咯。major function task OK duration deadline action by 得唔得？咁你自己有寫落去得噶啦。嗱，我最希望一樣嘢咧就係嗱，呢啲格式嘅嘢其實就好死嘅啫，冇問題。總之唔好太即係打晒風咁得噶啦。我最想你諗咧就係真係諗得仔細啲，就係你個活動。頭先我講啦，你咁辛苦做緊呢個 assessment，OK，其實係喺個 program design 嗰度 involve 噶嘛，即係喺呢一個部分入邊噶嘛。咁你可以唔係淨係得 design program 嘅，你下面可以加 need assessment，OK，跟住上面又加類似setting the goals of the program，OK，咁可能係仲有例如係仲有啲咩咧？係啦 ，collections of the need assessment response，OK，都係一個 task 嚟噶嘛 ，OK，咁你可以諗多啲咯，就唔好話 program design 淨係得 design program，入面有好多唔同嘅細分嘢，咁你越諗得仔細咧，係會將來幫到你喺真係做呢個活動嘅時候，你會個人第一會細心啲啦，同埋有好多嘢你會準備咗咯，就唔會係真係發生嘅時候你唔知點樣處理咁得。咁你話除咗呢9個 section， 你中意自己再加嘅額外嘅冇問題嘅，得唔得？但係請你唔好照抄，得唔得？照抄就唔使你做 ，OK， 嘥大家時間。OK， so when you complete this form, this checklist, let's draw. Remember to submit the flowchart as well. OK， 你要畫翻條 timeline 嘅。timeline 咧，我知道喺 Word 度畫咧係有啲繁複嘅。咁同學咧可以攞張白紙。揾個同學辛苦啲啦，畫個箭嘴，跟住自己寫低，寫完之後咧喺張紙度影翻張相，跟住將張相 attach 喺嗰個 Word file 度照交都得，得唔得？係啦，就係咁簡單啫。好，咁接下嚟嘅時間咧交俾大家啦。咁一陣間咧我會開8間房嘅 ，OK， 咁1至到8啦。咁我通常都會 stay 喺第9間房。咁如果你有問題，你舉手問。呢份嘢咧最遲交咧係5點半之前 ，OK， 5點半。得唔得？咁我哋喺你個 section 入面咧，一陣間我就會開放翻嗰個 submission box 俾你。咁請你喺5點半之前交。每一組咧只係派1個同學交就得噶啦。OK？咁你哋自己入啦，咁大個仔，我唔掉你入去。
入第2組。月。
喂。
月。係月。
阿路易斯咧？
點啊？
誒
咩啊？有咩意見啊
？CWL984100係邊個啊？
我掛住以前阿叔個名啊，吹啊！屌佢啦！我明明用咗自己嘅 email log in，跟住 我唔知好煩啊，戇鳩，似哪似啊咁。
自己開多個啊！
但是
框架為整而整，完全打唔到字咯。
你頂得順就未得啩？
喂屌睇唔撚到嘅啊！
唉，
冇一個 link。
一係瞄個 Discord 嗰邊先，我哋都
好啊，我退出咗。
即係我哋掹馬月入，我哋掹馬月入去算。
我都得啊。
係咯，進入啦，阿月
係喎，
過三爆三嗰個啊，唔係喎，咩啊？
三
邊個
爆三
？Flow Water Cup 啊？
我睇下
哦，好啊，月入來，你叫咩名
入咗咯，Chris 哥。
？C Christ 啊，喺度嘅咩？啊，喺度嘅咩？
佢喺度㗎。
啊，喺度咩？咁勁嘅，好有技術，好有技術啊 ，Chris。唔到。
Okay, so please remember to submit your work before 5:30, okay, on Moodle. So each group should only submit one copy, okay? And yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If not, then I will just end this section.